This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Welcome to show 330 Aussie Mac Zone. Zarn, how are you?
Awesome, mate. 3:30. 20 more to go.
Yep, we're rocking it.
And we're alive and well and we're at home.
Yep, staying out of trouble.
We haven't gone insane. The microwave told me so.
So, last week, Kerr Seamons commented on the name, gave you that Minecraft.
Yes.
It wasn't this Kerr Seamons. It was another Kerr Seamons.
It was. It was a cheeky one.
That caught us.
It was Kellyanne, actually, from Karen's account.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
There you go. Because there's so many Kerr Seamons, I'm not sure.
Well, that's right. And so what happened, because the boys have the iPads.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And Kellyanne went to go on Facebook on the iPad to talk to the boys and didn't realise that it was actually logged in to Mum's
there you go.
Facebook, and so it was Kellyanne. And she didn't realise till after.
Hang on.
And
Yeah. What'd you say? All good. Sorry, just getting a report that everything's good.
Excellent.
15 online, that's pretty cool. Hello, everybody that's online. It's good to see you. Yeah. So, our Aussie Apple ramblings this week. Again this week, a very big thank you to all the people around Australia and the globe keeping us going. Much appreciated. Hello, Mason. So, story one, I've got a pick for that. I never thought I'd see Apple and Google partnering on something. But anyway,
I know, right? Working together and changing the world for the better.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes, see, my mate Matthew just said the toast has been laughing at him. So clearly he's been funny. I'm not insane. The microwave told me so.
Yep.
So it's not just me. We're all okay.
So, Apple and Google announce a joint Apple press announcement. Apple and Google partner on COVID-19 contact tracing technology. Across the world, governments and health authorities are working together to find solutions to the COVID-19 pandemic to protect people and get society back up and running. Software developers are contributing by crafting technical tools to help combat the virus and save lives. In this spirit of collaboration, Google and Apple are announcing a joint effort to enable the use of Bluetooth technology to help governments and health agencies reduce the spread of the virus, with user privacy and security central to the design. So, since COVID-19 can be transmitted through close proximity to affected individuals, public health officials have identified contact tracing as a valuable tool to help contain its spread. A number of leading public health authorities, universities and NGOs around the world have been doing important work to develop opt-in contact tracing technology. To further this cause, Apple and Google will be launching a comprehensive solution that includes application programming interfaces and operating system level technology to assist enabling contact tracing. Given the urgent need, the plan is to implement this solution in 2 steps while maintaining strong protections around user privacy. First, in May, both companies will release APIs that enable interoperability between Android and iOS devices using apps from public health authorities. These official apps will be available for users to download via the respective app stores. Second, in the coming months, Apple and Google will work to enable broader Bluetooth-based contact tracing platform by building this functionality into the underlying platforms. This is a more robust solution than an API and would allow more individuals to participate if they choose to opt in, as well as enable interaction with a broader ecosystem of apps and government health authorities. Privacy, transparency and consent are of utmost importance in this effort, And we look forward to building this functionality in consultation with interested stakeholders. We will openly publish information about our work for others to analyse. All of us at Apple and Google believe there has been a more important moment to work together to solve one of the world's most pressing problems through close cooperation and collaboration with developers, governments and public health providers. We hope to harness the power of technology to help countries around the world slow the spread of COVID-19 and accelerate the return of everyday life. As part of this partnership, Google and Apple are releasing draft technical documentation including Bluetooth and cryptography specifications and framework documentation. So thank you very much, Google and Apple, for talking.
I reckon this is phenomenal, considering how much drama they've had in the past.
Yep.
They really have fought with one another.
Yes.
So I just think this is well done to them to be able to know, know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
That's right. Yep.
And come together as human beings.
Yes. So it's very important, and I'm glad that we're actually getting there.
G'day, Tim and David. How are you guys? Thanks for watching.
Yes, much appreciated, all these people tuning in. So, story number 2. Caseify, new Coca Cola collection, has iPhone cases,
this is
Apple
really cool.
Watch bands, and more. Yep.
Yep.
9 to 5 Toys reports the folks at Caseify. We commented on the Star Wars cases and watch bands a few months back.
Yep.
And no strangers to pairing unique smartphone and computer accessory with prominent brands.
Dave's also isolating, he said.
Yep.
G'day, Kane. Thanks for watching, bro. It's my little brother.
Excellent. Still today, the company is announcing its latest collection, which dwarfs the collaborations we've seen in the past. Partnering with Coca Cola, Caseify has unveiled a batch of cases, watch bands, and much more complete with red and white colorways. Head to the link below, which will be in the show notes, for a closer look at all the new accessories. And you can see one of the phone cases on the screen at the moment.
Very cool. I don't normally get into brand naming stuff. I do collect toys and comic books. So when I say not brand naming stuff, I get into my brand naming stuff because of the comic books and things like that. But not normally like a food product or anything like that. But I actually really do like Coca-Cola's branding. They have been around for a very, very long time. And so I always, take my hat off to, when it's due.
Yeah.
And I think Coca-Cola brand stuff is very cool. I love the phone case. I would definitely get one. Any free samples gladly received, David said. No worries. If we get them, we'll definitely show you.
So we've got this title at the moment, Good Products for When We're Stuck Indoors.
Yep.
Apple are giving away books on Apple Books.
Yes.
You can get some free for currently on Apple Books. So Karen has downloaded some so she can read to the grandkids some new stories. So Apple helping us out by giving us some books to read and study. Is that the world falling down on you?
Yeah. It's I'm guessing because it's just a Play-Doh shaper thing.
Okay.
So it doesn't put away properly.
Now, what about gaming? Now, first.
I'll
put a picture up.
All right.
I put a picture up.
Yep.
For the first game.
Yep.
Go for it.
I'm waiting for the picture.
No, keep going.
All right. So
the world will see it. Yeah.
Excellent. So Doomsday Vault. I was really looking forward to this game. I don't know if I just had issues with it or what, because the reviews online were actually really good. I tried to play it because I was actually interested in it because I really like WALL-E, the Disney movie, and it seemed to be a little bit like that. And so I tried to play it. I got through the training 4 times and it just wouldn't let me get further on. I did everything I was told to do. I know I passed it 4 times. but for some reason, it just wouldn't let me go through. So I did write a review to the developers and said, please help. Because I'd really like to play it. I've got to get off my table because it's shaking.
That's right.
The video camera, and but I was really upset because I really wanted to play this game. Again, because I love that sort of that premise of us leaving and robots cleaning up after us.
That's why we got married, isn't it?
That's right. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play it. So hopefully the reviewers get back to me and maybe it was just something to do with my phone and not the actual game.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. So I'm gonna again. I'll review this one again because I really want it to be good.
Yes.
Second game isn't an arcade game, but with isolation, you're doing all sorts of strange things. And that I play anything. I don't care where it comes from. If it's a good game, I'll play it. And so it's Hearthstone, and this is made by Blizzard. It's a spin-off of World of Warcraft, but it's a card game of World of Warcraft. What's this one? Ashes to Outland.
Isn't that it? No.
No.
Okay,
No.
I've got the wrong one up. Okay.
Yeah.
My fault.
That's okay.
Go for it.
And Ashes to Outland, I think, is a reference to what's going on at the moment. So when I started playing this from the beginning. I've had Hearthstone for a long time. I hadn't played it in a while because there's just so much other stuff to play. But with being in isolation, we've been trying new things, stuff to play together as well. So Kellyanne can get quite competitive and abusive. No, I'm joking. A little bit. Hope she's not watching. Well, I hope she is, but still. Yeah, so yeah, Matt, exactly. I love Blizzard too. They've made some great games. And so they've just put out a new it's an update where you get to play. You can either play with a 30-card deck or a 25-card deck. You're competing against other players online. You can also play friend play, so you're playing against somebody you actually know. Again, it's just a card game. So think of Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that, but it's a digital version of that card game, which brings out some little cool extras with things attacking and exploding and, and all that sort of stuff, which is really good fun. If you get into this sort of stuff, the D&D, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and all that, this is a great digital version of that sort of thing. It has the mana, it has the same similar point system. So if you're into those games, you won't get lost with this. It'll feel like second nature. You'll just be able to sort of breeze through it. I stayed up way too late last night playing it and got told that I actually had to stop. I wasn't making any noise, but I just seemed to be keeping people awake.
Okay.
And so I stopped. I stopped playing it last night, and I'll probably play it again tonight because I've been having a good time on it. And so it's Hearthstone. It's by Blizzard. You can get it in your app store. It's free to download. You can sign up to a Blizzard account, or you can use your Facebook or your Google to sign in. I signed up through Blizzard because you get a few little extra freebies if you do that through Blizzard because they see that. Yeah, well, they sort of reward loyalty, and so I did that. Again, great fun card game. If you're bored, which we all are at the moment, check it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just before I start on entertainment, hi Gary, and we've got two bits of bad news last night, wasn't it? The guy from the Goodies, Tim Brooke Taylor.
Yeah, Tim Brooke Taylor. If you're my age or one of my mates on here that remembers the Goodies, so he was the middle one, I guess. Yeah. You had Graham, Tim, and Bill. Yeah. Thank you. He's the bird watcher. I was trying to think because this book is about birds or whatever it's called. I have it here somewhere. Yeah. It's not about the Goodies. It's about bird watching. He read a book. It's hilarious still because of just the title itself.
Yep.
I absolutely loved this show as a kid. Is it Iggy Thump? Is a Scottish martial art where they use black pudding as a weapon. And all the bicycle they rode, and they were just the goodies, and it's sad to see.
Yes, yeah, and then we got Sterling. We lost Sterling Moss overnight as well.
Yep.
So that was a bit sad for me personally.
Yep.
So yeah, been lucky enough to see him and meet him, and so now. Also, just to go along with, that's the picture I'm looking for. Yeah, so...
Yes, Matt just said, sorry, Matthew just said, yeah, I watched it, them growing up, similar to Monty Python. Yeah, it was sort of the kids' version of Monty Python.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. And I think I was allowed to watch Monty Python as a kid. I probably shouldn't have, but my parents were free-loving hippies and thought, it wouldn't corrupt me, and it didn't.
Gave us a sense of humour.
It did.
More important.
My favourite, like Monty Python as well. Like, there's nothing better than a dead parrot. Like that skit is still one of my favourite skits in the whole world. So, yeah, I seen the picture of the driver. What's his name again?
Sterling Moss.
How old was he?
90.
90?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
did he natural causes?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
'Tis but a flesh wound. That's right, Kane.
So going along with that, the Australian Superstar Series goes VR. Congrats to the Australian Supercar Series in getting their championship back up and running, but in virtual reality so quickly. So there is a link to their championships, which the first round was at Monza, which will never be,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome that they're using other tracks and
Everyone's
doing the whole build.
Sorry. So I'm laughing, but not at the racing. I'm laughing at everybody quoting Monty Python now, off screen.
Banging them up,
You're missing an arm. It's just a scratch.
Excellent. And then our second one.
Distracting me, guys. Stop it. Excellent.
Our second entertainment picture. There we go. So Apple, Amazon, YouTube. See, it's all the big companies working together.
That's right.
Apple, Amazon, YouTube, and others to live stream One World Together at Home virtual concerts.
Yep.
Global Citizen and the World Health Organization have teamed up to create a One World Together at Home global special to support the fight against COVID-19. The special is set to be broadcast live on Saturday, April 18 at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
And
ABC, NBC.
And everyone else, all the artists are at home in their home studios.
Yep.
Live.
Yes.
And so good. I love this.
Sitting on the lounge,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Alanis Morissette. I could imagine, Alanis Morissette. Yeah. So who else have we got there? Chris Martin, Billie Eilish, Billie Joe Armstrong. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what David Beckham's got to do with anything. Keith Urban, Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder. We'll see him, but he won't see us. It's terrible jokes are terrible. It's because I'm in isolation. I just got no one else to feed this to.
Even Keith Urban.
Yeah, Keith Urban. I've seen that. I'm trying to read it, and I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah. Kerry Washington.
My brother's got my back. He laughed.
Lang, Liza, Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Casey Musgrave. I was actually
Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, besides being on ABC, NBC, and CBS in the States, it will be streamed by Apple, Amazon Prime Video, Alibaba, Facebook, Instagram, LiveX Live, Tencent Music Entertainment Group, Tidal, TuneIn, Twitch, Twitter, Yahoo, and YouTube. It's not clear how Apple will stream the event, but the company could add a special channel to the Apple TV as well as offering the live stream on its website. The virtual broadcast will show unity among all people who are
Elton
affected
John,
by
did you say? Hosted by Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Steve Colbert. And Matt just wrote Elton John.
Yeah, he's in there too, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man. I missed that one completely, and I'm a big fan.
As well as celebrating and supporting the brave frontline healthcare workers around the world who are doing incredible life-saving work. Lady Gaga, Elton John, blah, blah, blah. Many more are set to perform during the event, and there will be appearances by David Beckham, Idris Elba, and others.
Cool.
So, yeah, something to look forward to on Saturday.
Yeah.
Remembering it's American time, so just adjust yourselves, get up early, stay up late,
Daddy.
whatever. If we go to that camera.
What is to our watchers, what is everybody streaming at the moment? What are they watching? Are you on YouTube? Are you on Netflix? Are you on Amazon or Stan or any of these? Who's got a... Oh, no, I can't ask that question. I was going to say VPN, but we don't want to know. Because I don't think we're allowed to have them. I definitely don't have one. So, yeah, but what are we watching? Michael, what are you watching at the moment? Is it on Apple TV Plus?
Apple TV Plus still, yeah. I rented a movie on Apple TV the other night, which was good.
Yeah, what did you watch?
It was called... I can't remember the name of it now, but it's about this guy who's on parole.
Yep.
He's got to get 3 signatures on his job application sheet so he doesn't go back in.
Yep.
And one of the jobs he goes to is, just so he can get the signature, is to help a guy who is a quadriplegic.
Yep.
And
wait, that's with Kevin Hart.
Yes. Yeah.
And Bryan Cranston.
Yes. Yeah, I just can't think of the name of it now.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was
that's an amazing movie.
Cool.
I've also seen this movie, and it's actually based on a real story.
Yeah, and they're still friends to this day. Even
yeah, they are. Yeah, and I just thought that. So Matt just said Foxtel opened all its channels. So if you're a subscriber to Foxtel, you're getting all the channels for the same price as you would just a normal package. Is that correct?
Well, you're not getting any sport, are you?
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, you're getting racing still.
Yeah, I don't understand that. We need to keep our money at the moment.
Did you watch the racing on the weekend? The VR racing? Did you watch any of it?
Not as yet. No.
No. I've had a few people on Facebook that I've seen who watched it. I don't know if they were impressed with it or not.
A few of the people I saw some on TV and like in the news, and you couldn't super tell the difference.
Mate. Yeah, cool. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so it was really good.
I'm on. So I've been digging around for TV series to sort of binge. And stuff like that, so I'm not watching movie after movie after movie. And I found a TV series called Taken on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's, I'm guessing, based on the same books that Taken was based on, but in these, it's obviously not his daughter, and the story's a little bit different. It's meant to be based in America, but it's based in Canada. I know all the actors, and I know where they're from because I've watched them in other shows, and they're a Canadian-based acting team. But it's still very good, very action-packed, lots of guns and action and, kidnappings and espionage and, treason and all this sort of stuff, it's very good. So if you've got Amazon, check out Taken, the TV series.
Excellent.
Also on Amazon, you've got a bunch of old 80s cop shows that I used to watch because my dad would watch them.
Yeah.
Hammer. What was it? Hammer something. Or something Hammer. Oh. Anyway, terrible 80s cop show. And it either starts or ends in Hammer, and he's like, he sort of looks like Clint Eastwood, you know, and yeah, he's a cop, and he doesn't go by the rules, and he's got a bombed out old car, and you know, it's it's funny. It's funny to watch now. It's fantastic. It just would not fly.
Yeah.
I think at one stage he uses the derogatory term for a gay person, starting with F, and I was just like, wow, another guy, is talking to a woman, slaps her on the backside, and says, "Thanks, love," and so it's very un-PC, but it's still very funny. It's great to watch. There's all of Star Trek on Netflix.
Yeah.
There's also the new Star Trek on Amazon. Also, there's not as new on Netflix as well, but the new series of Star Trek on Netflix there we've watched. The reason I'm giving all this out, by the way, Michael, is because I've been talking to friends all day about and seen posts. Oh, what can I watch? Has anybody got some good shows?
Yeah.
And so I thought, since we're here, all three viewers, it's not Sledgehammer, but it's close, Matt. Look, I will find it for you, and when I do, I'll tell you next week what it's called. But yeah, it's really funny.
Well, I have to catch up with Minority Report.
Yeah,
it's a geeky one.
I like Minority Report. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I can't remember watching. I'm sure I watched it, but I can't remember watching it. So I'm looking forward to just doing one of that while I'm.
Tom Cruise does good action movies.
Just sit there with repairing computers, watching the TV.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll be doing, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now a couple of how-tos that for people that support other people, because we're the tech people in the family, and so Apple screen sharing.
Yep.
So if you're in messages, iMessage, you can go in there and just click a button and start sharing a screen.
Yep.
Or if you do a search for, when you're on the Mac, do a search for screen sharing, and it lets you go from there. Choose a person, just enter that person's Apple ID. So if I do it, enter your Apple ID.
Yep.
Apple look after all the talking and no one to setting up special ports or anything through the router, and boom, I'm on your screen supporting you, moving the mouse around on your screen. So
sorry, I'm laughing at
No,
David. David just said I was going to start a series on Great Chrysalis, but I couldn't find one.
We'll
maybe
see.
if you type in Mopar, mate, you'll find them. All the great drag cars run Hemis.
Or Michael's Magic Mobile.
Might not be PT Cruisers, but they're still Chrysler.
So now we've also got which one am I on? Yeah. Apple Music launches 50 million COVID-19 advance royalty fund to help indie labels. 9 to 5 tells us, according to a new report from Rolling Stone, Apple Music has started a $50 million COVID-19 advance fund for indie labels. Through this fund, Apple will be able to ensure that artists still get paid despite the coronavirus pandemic. Apple announced the new fund in an email to independent record labels this afternoon. Those labels who have a direct Apple Music distribution deal and earn at least $10,000 in quarterly Apple Music earnings will qualify for the advances on future royalties. Apple says that this program is in good faith that advances will be funneled to arts and label operations based on financial need, the email explains. Royalty advances will be offered to independent labels with a direct Apple Music distribution deal who meet a quarterly threshold of earnings. Each advance will be based on the label's past earnings and will be recoupable against the label's future earnings. This offer is in good faith that labels will channel funds to artists and label operations based on financial need. In the email, Apple says that this is the way of helping during what are difficult times for the music industry globally. Livelihoods are at risk with multiple sources of income that our industry relies on vanishing overnight. Apple has a deep, decades-long history with music, and we are proud to be in close partnership with the best labels and artists in the world. We want to help. As Rolling Stone points out, the music industry has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. Concert tours and major festivals like Coachella have been delayed or cancelled entirely. Most musicians rely on live touring revenue, as do venue workers, tour managers, and many other live crew members who are now out of work, the report explains.
Yep.
So the full Rolling Stone article will be in the link in the show notes, of course.
Yeah, I just like to say that record companies have always been known to share the wealth with the artist. Well, let's hope they do at least.
Yep.
All the live shows in Australia have been cancelled. There were some really great bands coming out for shows like Ministry and Deftones and bands like that. It's a shame this has happened, and these bands won't make money doing what they love. So, yeah, and I don't know if it was 86 to 88, mate, but you might be right, mate. I will check, and like I said, I will let you know next week. I wish I knew what it was. Yeah. Anyway, it's something Hammer, and I'll hammer something. I will look it up. As soon as I'll put a note in the chat here. Yeah. As soon as I get off, and tag you in it. Yeah, Green Day. That's right, mate. Yeah, Green Day was playing as well. Green Day, My Chemical Romance, and Green Day, My Chemical Romance, and Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
That's the one, because I told Kellyanne and she got super excited and really wanted to go. We're going to see if we get a babysitter and everything.
I hope your dad was going to have fun.
Oh, he would have loved it.
We're fighting over it again. So,
all right.
Now, WatchSmith. Now, WatchSmith is a must-have app for unlocking the new Apple Watch features with dynamic complications. So 9 to 5 again. Apple Watch faces are highly customizable compared to watches that came before it. There's still room for opportunity for a watch as smart as the iPhone, however, and that's what David Smith cleverly titled WatchSmith app wants to prove. WatchSmith lets you create dynamic Apple Watch complications that are changed throughout the day. Wanted complications? You check the weather in the morning, show your work calendar during your 9 to 5, and show your activity data before bed. WatchSmith can do all that with a single complication, potentially freeing up slots for other complications. And now how it works.
Hello, Kellyanne. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. WatchSmith starts with the iPhone. The app lets you create a schedule for the Apple Watch complication using supported data sources, and you can create different schedules for different watch faces. There's a learning curve involved with version 1 of the complication customizer, but the user interface is easy to use once you get the hang of it. The trick is realizing that WatchSmith can change its complication up to 24 times per day with one mode for each hour of the day. The more likely scenario is that you'll only want a few modes for different hour blocks. The more sorry, it's just repeated a double take there. Data sources include... Go on, sorry.
Matt just asked if these watches worth buying. Matt doesn't have an Apple phone. He's a Samsung, but you can there's a Samsung store in the plaza, which probably isn't open at the moment. I know that. But you can just go to Samsung online and check these watches out. They're really good. Apple I can only vouch for because I only know that, but I'm guessing that the Samsung watches do very, very much similar things. I'm biased, so I'm going to say...
Yeah, they don't have a good reputation.
That, yeah,
They,
yeah,
they fail after updates, which is what's happened to JC,
Yep.
friend of the show. JC.
Oh, hers, yep.
Her
Yep.
failed after an update, and it's based on Google's software,
Yep.
and it hasn't been updated for ages and ages. So I'd be
Yep.
a bit worried about non-Apple Watch on that side. Maybe a Fitbit.
There. Yeah, Fitbit. Yeah.
Fitbit have got a lot of other things around it. So
Yep.
yeah.
There you go, Matt. Fitbit.
So complications on the Apple Watch. So you can have like what the weather is at the moment, or what your standing, sitting, your health rings, how much you've had, how much you've lost. Another complication, for example, is your calendar, and you can have, if you only want to know what's happening when you're at work, you can have that complication, like they say, at 9 to 5, and then you worry about what your health rings are. Make sure you close all your rings before you go to bed, even if it means walking home from the station instead of catching, or get out of station early and have a walk home.
Yeah.
Things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but being able to change those based on time, which we haven't been able to do until now. And David Smith's a really clever programmer. He's got some really good.
Yeah. Dave just said if pricing was better, they would sell more. So, and he said, so what's the advantage of these watches versus what I can get on my phone? Well, so they work together with your phone.
Yes.
And it's, so the advantage is you have them both and they work together. So, well, you've got the latest, or one of the latest watches, and
not quite the latest one.
Yeah, but so what are the advantages? So the advantages are some of them for health reasons.
Okay, so
yep.
I over the last couple of months, I've been having high heart rate for no known reason. So it knows that your heart rate's been over 100 beats per minute.
Yep.
When it knows you're not doing any exercise, because nothing else is, you can be sitting there watching TV and all of a sudden you've been at 100 beats per minute for over 10 minutes.
Yep.
So it keeps track of all of that.
Yep.
We haven't got it in Australia yet, but it'll do a single point ECG if you need to know things like that.
Yep.
If you've got arrhythmia in your heart, it tells you that. If you have the latest one, if you have a fall, or the latest two, the last two phones, if you have a fall and you don't get up, it basically says you've had a fall. And if you don't get up, it starts ringing the ambos and like rings 000, rings your emergency contacts. That's some of them. Yeah, things like that, just as an example. Yeah.
No, don't do that.
So what about our next story is, this is say you're sitting there with your kids at home wanting to know what to do. Your child can become an astronaut and explore space from home with NASA. CNN reports after a few weeks of coronavirus quarantine, your home and backyard and even your neighbourhood may feel a little smaller than it once did, especially if you have children.
Absolutely.
That's why it's time to look up into the sky. Scientists from NASA and the International Space Station National Lab don't want your kids to fall behind because they're missing out on field trips to your local science museum, planetarium and other activities that can spark a love of science, technology, engineering or maths. NASA's 10 ideas for space-themed things you can do at home is just the beginning of activities for kids and families to enjoy. Get specific based on what your child is already learning in the classroom with NASA's kindergarten through 4th grade, 5th through 8th grade and 9th through 12th grade guides.
Yeah.
These guides include hands-on activities and experiments, things you can make at home, a night sky resource, videos and more. The Space Foundation's Virtual Discovery Centre is sharing video lessons and challenges, and both NASA and the Space Station's US National Lab site have dedicated hubs to explore. So even if your kids are home for the foreseeable future, you can still enjoy some adventures together that are out of this world. And who knows, you may even learn something, develop a passion for space and science, even participate in a citizen scientist project that needs your help. Here's a sampling of experiences you and your child can enjoy. Build a rocket. In fact, build a straw rocket if you're concerned about safety with this easy experiment.
Yeah.
This week is the largest supermoon of the year, but the next one occurs in May. And be prepared for making your own moon phase calendar and calculator with help from NASA.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Train to be an astronaut.
I don't know who doesn't like science. Like they're saying, you might find a love for it.
Yeah.
I thought everybody loved it.
Train to be an astronaut on the space station with the National Lab and Space Station Explorers Organisation.
Yeah.
Design a crew mission patch, learn about engineering rockets, how to conduct a spacewalk, and even design your own space station. Pick the next plant that will live and grow on the space station during the ExoLab Biological Design Challenge.
I would love to do that.
Conduct experiments at home and compare them with experiments conducted on the space station, including growing your own alien head. Oh, we've already got one of them. With activities hosted by the Dream Up organisation. Contribute to ongoing experiments on the space station by looking at photos and videos and share your findings with scientists through Orion's quest. Or just enjoy the gorgeous photos astronauts take from their unique vantage point above Earth through the windows from the space station.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
So Matt was just saying that, hey, Nige, that he's got a app. You can't remember what it's called, but you point it up at the stars and it tells you what constellations. And we both have that app as well.
Yeah.
We have an app that does that anyway. I've had it for a long time. You've had it for longer than me, Michael.
Yeah, awesome.
It's Stargazer.
Yep.
And is that the one you've got? Is it called Stargazer, man? Maybe that'll trigger. Is that right, Michael?
I'm just checking.
Or stargazing or something.
Sorry, just keep talking while I look it up.
Yeah, and I've had it for ages because I love showing that sort of stuff to my boys. We'll lay in the backyard when it's not wet and soggy. Lay in the backyard, look up at the stars, and find which ones stars are this and where are the planets and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty neato. So we've had. We've had that app for a while now.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's just great fun. And like I said, who doesn't like science? We've been doing experiments here at home with all sorts of different stuff. And we're just about to work out what are the best plants to plant around this time of year to grow some food. And I'm going to get the boys to grow a garden again. We've had them in the past. It's just we haven't set one up here in this house. But we won't be moving away from here anytime soon. So I want to set up a big yard. We're going to get some chooks and stuff like that. So,
so
science is everywhere.
It is. Star Walk, Night Sky Vision is the one that I use.
Yeah.
And
Sky View.
Not only telling you what star that is when you go, oh, what's that, and you can just move your hand around with the phone pointing at it, and it'll even over the horizon, it'll tell you what's over the horizon.
I know I know I have the same app. I haven't looked at it in ages because we haven't been outside and the weather's been a bit funny, and so we haven't really sort of had the chance to do it.
Yeah, and it'll really show you like the constellations where you get like Cancer, the crab.
Yep.
It'll show you what that is, and all that sort of stuff. So it'll show you where the space station is as it's flying around too.
Sorry, people, my backside is numb. I'm sitting on a dining chair.
We're nearly there.
I think next time I'll bring a better chair in.
Now I think it was the second year of the Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And we were, in our motorhome, staying at a garage, and we're all just laying out in the driveway of the garage because the garage was all closed up and locked up.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I saw a satellite fly over, and then I saw quite a few of them fly over. Just laying there.
You see them all the time now. If you sit out in the backyard, look up, you see satellites coming past.
So it's pretty crazy, but yeah. Awesome.
I remember the first time I seen one too. I was only young, early teens, sort of maybe just preteen, and it was insane. I thought it was a spaceship. Are you drinking kombucha?
I'm drinking Remedy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one of the Remedy ones. Yeah.
Lemon,
cool.
lime, and bitters one.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So we're just going to finish on a working type subject.
Yep.
So, how to be a rock star employee and stay sane while working from your couch. So, money.com tells us working from home has its perks. You can roll out of bed, hop onto a Zoom call within minutes. You can spend your lunch break catching up on Netflix or household chores.
Yeah.
But as millions of Americans,
or Australians,
everybody, as millions of people around the
billions
world
of people
are subtly figuring out remote work also brings complications. It's hard to build your influence within your team and organisation without a physical meeting space, collaborating with co-workers and keeping your manager abreast of how good you've been in your day in and day out is much more complicated these days. So, for some people, that makes it easier to fly under the radar. For others, dissolving the barrier between work and home life makes it impossible to switch between the two. They're never not working. So how do you find the line? How do you get your boss to recognise that you're a superstar employee when they don't even see you face to face? How can you prove...
Tim Griffiths can answer this question. I think he's still watching. If you're out there, Tim, you got the answer to this, mate, don't you?
How can you prove you're staying productive and on top of things from a distance without sacrificing your sanity? So...
Tim never had sanity anyway.
Set some goals. As a career coach, it always astounds me, this is obviously the guy who wrote it, how few people have professional goals that they're actively working towards. If you can't tie your personal goals to your company's, how can you prove your value or measure your progress? Talk to your manager and get a good understanding of their priorities for you, your team, and your company's overall vision. This will help you get organised and set your own priorities while working remotely. Tie specific outcomes to these goals so you're focused on effectiveness rather than tasks, and don't let your personal goals take a back seat. Do you want to get promoted or lead a team, a new project or initiative? Let your boss know. Over communicate. In an office setting, it's easy to drop by your manager's desk with an update or a schedule and a quick coffee chat. It takes more intentionality to get your boss's radar now and to keep them abreast of your projects, especially if you're hoping for a promotion or a raise. Perception is really important here, so set up regular check-ins that allow you to have a dedicated time to connect with your managers and get their feedback. Working remotely makes it easy to go about your day without talking to your boss, especially when there's no immediate or critical deadline you're working towards. But don't retreat. Keep the communication flowing. Maintain relationships with your co-workers. Being a highly performing employee isn't just about productivity, it's about building relationships. Which team members do you need to communicate with on a regular basis? Identifying those key players and creating a video chat and email cadence will help alleviate any potential workflow disruptions. It's also good to take time out of your day to just check in with co-workers and show that you care. Ask how they're doing, how they're adjusting and what they're struggling with, inside and outside the confines of their job. Check in with yourself too. Self-care is more important than ever right now. We're working through a pandemic after all, so be mindful of your emotional well-being. Create a schedule with regular breaks penciled in and try to step away from your work during lunch. If you can, get outside at least once during the day. Fresh air alleviates stress and can stop you from working yourself into a rut.
Yep.
Even if you just go for a walk around the block, like it's.
I know.
Yeah. If you're stressed out about keeping your boss convinced of your productivity, create a brag sheet detailing your work progress updates, challenges, and solutions. This will come in handy when you have one-on-ones with leadership, and it's a great reminder to yourself that you're staying on top of things while working from home. And we'll have a link to the rest of that article. But yeah, just...
Matt said it's harder in different work scenarios to prove your worth. I agree with that too.
Yep.
Actually, I have a few friends that are trying to sort of prove their worth outside of the office. And I think it's ill communication from, everybody that sort of shows that you need a good communication line, especially when you are working from home.
Yeah.
And you need to still prove what you're doing, but also have that to keep sane and have that a good sort of work / relax.
Let people know.
Yeah, and because you're at home, you either tend to work a whole lot more or a whole lot less.
Yep.
And so I think you really need to find a good medium in between both of those and not go crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Our show promotion, show notes link each week on the show upgrade, on the show upload. The link being aussiemaxzone.com.au AMZ330.
Yes, not 329 that's on the notes at the moment.
Yeah.
That will be updated.
I was testing it. There you'll see the last 6 weeks of show notes. You can email Zarn at aussiemaxzone.com.au or Michael at aussiemaxzone.com.au. Spotify, just search for Aussie Max Zone.
Yep.
Google.
Yep.
Google Podcast app now. If you've got a Samsung phone, for example, or a Huawei or whatever, there's a Google Podcast
Apple
app
Podcast, we're right there.
Apple News for Aussie Max Zone.
Yep.
And thank you, most importantly, our supporters, you, our listeners, the most important people. And it's over for you for the sign-off, sir.
If people have noticed the artwork behind me this evening, that is done by my very good friend, Scott Belshaw, who's an amazing artist, an amazing friend. I've been friends with him for a very long time.
He must be an amazing friend putting up with you.
Exactly. And I love his art. There's only just 2 pieces of his. I have a few more that I really like.
Yeah.
So everyone, remember to stay safe, stay inside if you can. We don't need fines. We don't need people getting sick.
That's right.
And remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. See you guys.